You've probably been seeing videos like these pop up on the internet lately. A calm, unsuspecting victim, we mean individual, wishing a happy birthday to some dude named Grimace, taking a sip of purple-colored milkshake and... Oh geez, oh no! What's happening? Why is everyone passed out? What is that purple stuff? His eyes are like the endless void. Okay, that terrifying purple blob alien thing is Grimace, and he's been going around murdering people with a Grimace Shake. Nothing spells conspiracy like murder by a purple blob, and nothing spells foodspiracy like murder by milkshake. So where exactly do we start from? What is that thing? What's in the Grimace Shake? And how does this all tie into... We've got another mystery on our hands, folks, and this time it's purple, sweet, and blobby ghosts? Get ready to get Grimace Shake! So, in case you were born after the year of our Lord 2001 and you've been too busy chasing alien conspiracies these past week to notice what's been going on the internet, there's a purple blob going around murdering people! Well, he's not exactly killing them, and he's not exactly a blob per se. Meet Grimace McDonald's, knockoff Barney, dollar store Tinky Winky, version of Peter Potamus, something? To be honest, we don't know what that weirdo is. Not even McDonald's knows what Grimace is, and they made him. When asked, they said he's the embodiment of a milkshake or a taste bud, which is just a wild description. So he's either the physical representation of a mix of milk, sweets, and ice cream, or a single tongue nerve? He might as just well be an alien. It kinda looks like one with those dead, soulless eyes. But Grimace didn't always look like the unsettling little alien purple blob thing he is right now. Yup, folks. He wasn't always the weirdo he is today. He honestly looked way worse. We mean worse enough to terrify the snot out of kids. The character Grimace was originally introduced as part of McDonald's McDonaldland back in 1971. The initial concept was drafted up in 1963 though. Basically, McDonald's went, what are we gonna do to get those snot-covered tiny kids of the people who give us money to keep coming to our store so we get even more money? And the solution was McDonaldland. Think Candyland, Disneyland, and Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, but even more unhealthy. It featured all your favorite nightmare fuel characters, like the really creepy hamburger mayor and officer, the equally creepy Fry Kids, the Big Bird knockoff Birdie, the early bird, and the Hamburglar, just some guy who really loved stealing hamburgers. And although these characters look like they could be in a Five Nights at Freddy's-esque movie and no one would bat an eyelash, there was one far more disturbing to look at than the rest of them. Grimace. Like, we know we've asked before, but what even is that thing? The dead eyes, multiple dirty paws, mitts, thingies, and general look of pure evil of the original Grimace looked scarier than zombies riding dinosaurs to kids. It looked so horrible that just a year later, it was swapped out for the slightly less terrifying Grimace we know today. Come 52 years later, it's Grimace's birthday, and McDonald's releases, roll the drums, the Grimace Shake. Get yourself ready for a trip through McDonaldland and a dive into multiple milkshakey murder mysteries. Because what the heck is this trend? If you haven't seen the videos yet, let's show you and give you a little explanation. Videos from the trend begin with people wishing Grimace a happy birthday and taking a sip of the new purple berry shake. Seems innocent enough, right? Well, after that, the camera pans and Grimace comes to claim his victim. The victim ends up passed out on camera, purple puke all over their face and clothes, looking like they've just seen the Grim Reaper. Grimace really woke up and chose violence. Get it? Because he's purple. Jokes aside, this purple weirdo has become known as the internet's pigmented killer, but why is that? What exactly is in the shake, Grimace? Well, we're going to solve a foodspiracy and an internet murder conspiracy all in one video. Are you ready to fight an alien purple blob? You are? Great! So let's put our aliens conspiracy cream right here. First off, what's in the Grimace Shake? Well, for the most part, it's just a normal milkshake. It's made out of blueberries and raspberries with the usual ingredients of ice cream, milk, and sugar required to make a milkshake. One serving of the Grimace Shake contains 580 calories, 15 grams of fat, and 97 grams of carbohydrates. There's a bunch of other things thrown in there too. 9 grams of saturated fat, 0.5 grams of trans fat, 60 milligrams of cholesterol, 170 milligrams of sodium, 75 grams of sugar, which includes 62 grams of added sugar, and 12 grams of protein. The shake is topped with whipped cream, mixed with vegetable juice, and is as sweet and purple as Grimace himself, right? Right? Wrong. Because Grimace has been leaving crime scenes all over the internet. Grimes scenes, if you will. The weirdo has been leaving people collapsed on the floor and covered in purple puke. That's not all, folks. Nope, this Foodspiracy goes deeper than a bucket of finger-licking KFC chicken and higher than purple-colored aliens. Grimace has also been making people do wild things. Many go crazy after the first sip of the shake. Some can't even stop drinking it. Some people start hallucinating and climbing trees in the middle of the night because the Grimace Shake made them do it. A lucky few survive the purple attacks and manage to even kill Grimace. So what about the shake is making people sick? And what about it is making them go wild? Well, we're going to get to the bottom of Grimace's grim conspiracy. Remember what we told you about Grimace's creepy beginnings on McDonald's Land? Well, what we haven't told you yet is that Grimace actually started off as a villain. That's right. Grimace's original objective was to steal all the delicious McDonald's milkshakes he could find and keep it for himself. However, his character was changed to that of a chill dude who just loves drinking milkshakes and hanging out with his best buds. But with all these murders going on, we've got to assume the worst. The spirit of all Grimace has come back to take what's his, the milkshake. And he won't let anyone get in his way. Anyone standing between Grimace and his shake gets a grim ending. Think about it. The old Grimace is obviously past a newer, kinder Grimace took his place, and he's come back on Grimace's 52nd birthday, on his birthday, to finish the job. Get the milkshakes and violate anyone standing in the way of him and all that milkshakey goodness. But that's not the only thing Grimace's ghost wants. No, he's not content with just getting rid of his victims to get to the shakes. He also needs to possess them. After all, a ghost can't drink shakes on its own, and what other way can he get more shakes? He possesses them and controls their bodies, turning them into zombies hungry for Grimace shakes instead of brains. Weak mind gets, well, we already see what they get. They get Grimace shaked. Their brains are rocked, their bodies weaken, and they're left passed out on the ground covered in purple puke of a very thirsty blob ghost. Those who can handle the spirit of Grimace can't stop drinking the shake. They're trapped in a mindless cycle of buying Grimace shakes and drinking it. Some people get their minds cracked by the entire experience. Remember, this Grimace isn't a good guy. All he wants is the milkshakes, and he doesn't care who he hurts to get it. Those that get their minds cracked by the entire ordeal are the ones we see hallucinating, climbing trees in the middle of the night and running wild after drinking the Grimace Shake. They weren't the perfect vessel for evil Grimace, and they ended up getting crushed under the weight of his sheer malevolence. Now, the Grimace Shakes makes them go cray-cray, and we can only hope they recover. The only people who survive and manage to kill Grimace are those strong enough to resist the power of the purple shake. It's wild, we know. But knowing Grimace's history, it's no wonder he has it out for humans. He was created by McDonald's, and the kids hated him so much that they had to make him nice just to keep him on screen. Technically, we made a monster out of Grimace, and he's come back on his birthday to haunt us for it. So where does that leave us? If McDonald's knew what they did to evil weirdo Grimace, wouldn't they try their best to keep it under wraps? Why is there an entire trend about it? Well, there's a theory that the trend actually comes from the brilliant McDonald's marketing team. Not many people know about Grimace, and even less remember who he is. So what better way to drum up hype for his birthday and get people buying the suspicious purple shake? You start a grim internet trend. That's what you do. McDonald's actually thought of other ways to drum up hype for the celebration of the purple weirdo's birthday. Thing is, they're pros at making good a new food limited edition. They do it with their Shamrock Shake and McRib, which are only available for a few weeks each year and have still become cult menu favorites. Remember the Szechuan sauce incident? For the weirdo's birthday, they teamed up with streetwear brand Cactus Plant Flea Market to release exclusive collectible purple Grimace blob toys and made it a limited edition, going off the hope that people would rush at the chance at rare food. What they didn't know was that the internet would respond with such a gnarly looking trend. Before they knew it, the hashtags Grimace Shake and Grimace had gotten up to a crazy 640 million views. Heck, it even went up to 750 million views at some point. With TikTok being the hub for all the wacky, wild trends you can wrap your head around, and with it being popular among teenagers who've probably never heard about Grimace before now, it only makes sense that the grime scenes would begin there. They took Weirdo Grimace and literally made him a star. The first person Grimace shaked up was a TikToker named Austin Fraser, who goes by the username at @thefrazmaz on the app. On June 14th, he posted a TikTok video with the innocent caption, "Yo, I just got the new Grimace milkshake from McDonald's. I'm so excited to try this." We all know what the purple weirdo did to him. When all the grim videos got too much to ignore, guess what McDonald's did? They posted a picture of Grimace looking horrified on their official Twitter, insinuating that Grimace is just a chill guy who knows nothing of all the horrors unfolding in his name. Grimace Shake died on July 9th, taking the spirit of evil Grimace with it. Weird purple blobs, grim internet trends, and ghosts. Who would have thought about that? Certainly not us. In the meantime, while you ponder on all you just heard, we'll just have a nice glass of perfectly normal purple milkshake. What's that? No, Grimace, no!